So welcome back to my channel. This is Gamer Dom and this is Black Sun, who's driving, well, I would argue one of the best tier for tier light tanks in the game these days. This is the Chinese tier 7 premium light tank, the Type 62. Not freely available in the gift shop. You have to wait until it comes up on a special, but generally gets sold probably once or twice a year on average. And when I picked it up, it really didn't have an awful lot going for it. I mean, it was an okay premium tank, but it was from the old school of premiums, where you sort of almost expected a bit of downgrade of ability of the actual tank in exchange for the premium oh, it's been spotted straight away, for the premium benefits you get, which is basically extra credit credential, being able to move crew into different tanks and so forth. It doesn't get preferential or anything like that, but it was, remember, it was from a time when the tier 7 light tank was treated like a tier 8 medium, so you could see a tier 10 in this thing. Now, since the changes to matchmaking, they've basically meant this thing, they didn't do anything to any of the premium light tanks at all. Not that there's a huge number of them, but they didn't do anything to them. So as a result, these tanks, which were originally designed to sort of be able to just about survive in a tier 10 game, suddenly became proper tier 7 tanks. And for some reason, and he didn't get spotted firing there, wow. The the Type 62, for some reason, when I play it, it seems to get top tier more often than not, and that's what he's got here. Really lovely situation. He's in a tier 7 tank and he's top tier, one of the 3 top tiers, and he keeps missing that T37. Lot of light tanks in this game, lot of light tanks, which does not help. It's an encounter game on Redshire, as you can see. Moved forward initially to the spotting thing, but slightly overran the position, and as a consequence got spotted, and very lucky to get away with just a bit of splash damage and a hit from a T34. But now he seems to be in a really nice spot. He's got good camo on this crew, clearly, because he's able to sit here and fire without giving away his position. And generally when you fire, you lose some degree of your camo. That's a hopeful shot there on the Easy 8. But if it stops there, that's a lot easier. There we go. This thing carries an 85mm gun. It's, when in the old days of the matchmaking, used to get super unicorns just spamming gold out of it because they didn't have the pen to be able to deal frontally with tier 8, tier 9 and tier 10 tanks. And of course, you know, every tank should be able to deal with a tier 9 and tier 10 tank frontally, because that's the rules when you're a super unicorn. Nothing about getting around flanks and rears and what have you. Anyway, that's for noobs like me and everybody else. Not Statwaddy. Statwaddy? Stop. Oh, yeah, shut up, Dom. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay, so he's come to a very, he's very passive here at the moment, but that's kind of, he's a light tank. That's sort of goes with the job description. Hasn't done a huge hill of beans yet, but suddenly he's done, well, I say that, he's done 1,000 damage, which is pretty good going. Hasn't gone too aggressive, and he's playing a sort of support TD role, sitting at the back here, letting the everything spot for him basically, which is a bit of a role reversal. Enemy light tanks basically rushed towards the cap, but then got annihilated. He's tracking this T37 that he managed to miss about 3 times earlier. Scores are back even, 5-all. There's a T34-85 coming around the north. Usual problem with the Chinese tanks, poor gun depression, but this guy's coming up the top, so that's not going to be so much of an issue. Come on, show us your head. Alright, somebody else took him down. Okay, no need to worry. But there's incoming targets. Now the problem is, as I said, he's got very poor gun depression. It's a Chinese tank, so he needs to almost come down and be looking down on them. Not much luck against that 37. He's tracked him, and now he kills him. So that's GG. Got to move. There's a couple of artillery in this game, but that T-34-85 just had tunnel vision. He's a bit lucky. He stayed in the same spot. I'll see if they'd been paying attention, could have had him there. It's a tight game though. 10 plays 10. Very tight game. You can see a T-67 and what's that down there? I can't see what it is. AMX sitting down the baseline of the enemy team. I thought the Cromwell was going to do the right thing and try and get in the cap. That wall doesn't break there. Because if he got in the cap, he might have been able to pull them towards him. There is an enemy KV-1, which I don't think we've even seen yet. So he's probably camping at the back there as well. Oh, there's the T-67 popped out and took out the Cromwell. T1 Heavy is probably doing the right thing, but a bit too late, which is to basically push on into the cap. Oh no, he sniped the T-67, so that's pretty good going. So it's 11 plays 11. I talk about this in some other videos. The thing about light tanks is you have to earn the right to go forward. So early game, a bit like, even though he was top tier, Black Sun played it very passively. He sat back. He didn't do the spotting, which I would expect him to do. He's only done 200 spotting. That's, you have to earn the right to move forward. It's the latter stage of the game when there's not many enemy tanks around, and those that are pretty damaged, that is when you get a chance to move forward. Now he was thinking about coming up behind that KV-1, but he decided actually let's go and kill some artillery, and you know, why not? But where are they? Now if I was artillery, we know they aren't on the 890 line. This is where I'd expect them to be. Yeah, there we go. Grill's been spotted, but he got spotted doing that. Got a bit close. Probably could have taken him without being spotted there. There's a Su-14-1 out there, but he's not going to be able to spot him. Right, so they know where he's coming from now. Oh dear. It's him and artillery left against the Su and the KV-1 and the AMX. AMX clearly knows what he's doing. He's got 3 kills. As has Black Sun. He's got 3 kills too. Now, bit of a double bluff here, because I think I would have been tempted to go a different way round here, having been spotted once, but he continued round here. And there is his prize. First shell hits. Can he pop round and get a shot before the RT hits him? Oh, he got his gun. Oh, yeah, that wasn't so good. Bit predictable. Took a 300 hit. But in some ways quite fortunate he wasn't one-shotted there. Meanwhile, our AMX, or the enemy AMX, has taken out our artillery, so it's Black Sun against an AMX 1375 and the KV-1. He's got a fairly good number of hit points, so he can take a hit, certainly from the AMX he can, and oh, unlucky! He bounces the shell from the AMX and manages to miss the return, but he gets him on the replay, and there's a KV-1 right behind him. Get out of the way, move, move, move. No, he's got the mobility on the KV-1, and he's loaded premium, which is a little unnecessary, but what the hell, I don't blame him. He's down to pretty much a one shot by the KV-1, depends on what kind of gun he's using. And this is kind of the nib of the game, isn't it? Is the the phase one. That KV-1 is on 600 health, so he's going to take 3 hits probably to take him down. Meanwhile, he probably can't take 1 himself. So yeah, okay, we'll accept premium in this instance. Need to make every shot count at this point. Now, where is that KV-1 going? They've kind of gone too far. And which direction is he looking? More importantly, will he have just bundered round? He hasn't gone in the cap, which is a good thing. Where's he gone? Don't go in the cap. Okay. I don't think I would have done that. There he is. There he is. Only missed the first shell. Reloading. The KV-1's not even paying attention. Hey, he's got the 85mm on that KV-1. You see, it's not the derp gun, so it's got a bit more accuracy than you would otherwise expect. So, right. KV-1's turning around and coming back, which means we need to get out at dodge because we can't afford to take him on face to face, that's for sure. Even with the 85mm, I think there's a fair chance he could get one-shotted with 140 hit points. Certainly doesn't want to chance it. Going to try and scoot round the back of the KV-1. Which way is he going to be expecting him to come from? Or is he even paying attention to where he might come from? We shall see. Should be just down here. Where has he gone? Oh, he's gone in the cap. Okay. Stealth mode engaged with KV-1, who's now got his back to him. Oh, and the first shot misses again. Oh my word. Fire. Move, move, move. He's got locked on. Missed on the... It's tough to fire on the move with this thing. Right, KV-1's missed. Nice shot. Now circle him. Set him on fire. That's it. Game over. GG. Whoa, he ran his luck there, but he got him in the end. GG. So, yeah. He played around with that KV-1 at the end. Took his chances, that's for sure. Probably could have done a bit more cannily and played a bit of distance game. Aimed his shots a bit more at the end, particularly. But when your blood's up at the end of a game like that, and you're the sole tank between you and your team and victory, you can kind of forgive getting a little bit excited. I think certainly I do. So that was a first class, arsonist, bruiser, duelist, fire for effect, Pascucci's medal for killing 2 enemy artillery in 1 game, and Top Gun. Finished up top of the team on base XP, 2,422 damage, 6 kills, 1198 base XP. Considerably more, twice as much damage as anybody else on his team, and only the AMX on the enemy team had a even better game there. Got 2,800 damage. Who said light tanks were weak? 25 shots. He only hit with 16 and penned with 15, but he did fire a lot on the move, and that Chinese tank is not brilliant at that. Took 5 hits himself, one of which bounced amazingly. 4 penetrated him. Didn't do any spotting, really. It was 231 assistance damage, and really it was kind of a role reversal. The light tank sat behind and just sniped. But you know, that's one of the things with these light tanks, especially when you're top tier like that. It's like just a lightly armoured medium, and that's how he played it. Nearly 70,000 credits. He did fire a lot of premium at the end there, which cost him. But he still made just shy of 28,000 profit in credits with a premium account, and with the ×2 and premium vehicle bonus, nearly 4,000 experience for his Chinese light tank crew. So there you go, Type 61. Let me know what you think. I mean, I think it is probably tier for tier one of the best light tanks in the game now, which it never was. It was always a sort of light tank that only those who really, really liked Chinese light tanks would bother going for to train their crew up. Now I think it's a very effective light tank, especially because it so seldom seems to be bottom tier. I've got other tanks that are never top tier. Type 62 is almost always top tier, or at least just 1 tier down, which is a huge advantage. So I think it's a good little tank. But anyway, let me know what you think down below, and if you've got a game that you want me to feature, upload it to WOT Replay site. Send me the link to my email, which is gamerdom13@gmail.com. Let me know why you think it's fun and why it's good, and I'll happily take a look at it, and if I think it's going to be fun or interesting, I'll stick it up on the channel. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have fun, enjoy your games, and I'll see you again soon. Gamerdom out.